And welcome to another Excitech BIM 360 surgery. This morning it is number 46, and today we're going to take a quick look at some of the new issue enhancements that have recently come out in the last week or two. So I'm in my usual BIM 360 surgery project, and I'm going to jump straight in document management, and I'm going to jump straight into the unified issues tab. So the first thing I want to show you is that we can have a range of issues, and under the export drop down on the menu bar we have a new option for an Excel export. So when I click it, it will allow me to issue that report, and we can click report and it will generate an Excel report rather than having to view it in here. So obviously once it's in Excel, you can then start to do your own bits and pieces. That's not great. Let's try it again. So we run it again and see hopefully that the report is generating, and it will then drop you an email to say that the report is ready. So I'll just launch my Outlook in the background while that is running. So I'll get an email and then I'll have a download to that Excel report which we can explore. So another new thing under the filtering of issues is that you can do the standard filtering by type and all this type of thing. But if you scroll down the bottom, you will see there is a new area now existing for custom attribute filters. So this allows you to select a drop down, and you can see that I've got some custom attributes already added to my issues. So you can see that I've got one for damage, scale, and risk. So if I want to just choose risk, you'll see it will tick it on, and then I can use the risk, and this is based upon a filter that I've set with a drop-down list. So again, it'll go and it will show me everything that I've determined based upon a high risk. I could also change that to a damage scale, and then I can choose that, and I could say let's set that to 30, and I can clear that, and you can see that I can now show these based upon the filters, and you can include the filters in your attribute columns, as you can see here. So if I take off my risk and I say by 10, you will see it goes to 0, but if I put it back to 30, so a very powerful control that we can now do for filtering. But some of you may not know how we get these custom attributes in. So they're not standard custom attributes that we would normally have within docs. These are custom attributes for issues. So if I select the module selector and go into the project administration area and click the issues tab, you can see that you have a section here for custom attributes. And what you can do is you can create a new attribute. So I can say this is a test, and it is a drop down, and I could say yes, and then I can also say no, and I add that, and then I create that as a custom attribute set. So once it's created in here, what you then must do is add that custom attribute to the type. So if I select my types tab, go into design, you can see that attributes are listed here. I can select the 3 dots and I can edit, and then within the custom attributes I can add my new test, and then that will then be available for the active set and all the subsets of that, or the subtypes that exist within design. So now when I go to document management and select my issues, I can now apply that issue custom attribute to that type of issue. So we will just let this catch up with me. So if I select this design type, you will see down here I've got the custom attributes where I can say this is now yes. And then on the filtering, I can then filter it based upon this test attribute, and I can say yes, and it will now just give me the one reported issue. So I'm just going to quickly check my BIM 360 folder. You can see that my report is now ready. So I can now download my report. So this will be the Excel output of all the issues. So you can see now we have the report with its contents, and there we have our issue report all exported out to Excel. And if we just, let's say, take that to there, and we format this a little bit better, so you can now see what we're getting in the report is all the information and metadata around that report. So just one other thing that came out yesterday is when we look at the permissions around the issues and document linking, there is just an extra control on permissions. So there's now new permissions allowed to be activated around the creation of the issues. And what that will mean is that when we do the linking of the issues, is that if you've got view and create, that we can select an issue with them permission controls, and we can do the add in the reference. So we can now just add in, let's say, an RFI. So it will search, and I'm going to add in my social distance signage. And now I can control whether people can edit these, create them or not. So just again, a little bit more security and control around these linked references, particularly around the permissions of who can edit and who can change these linked documents. So that's pretty much it. So just to recap, we can export all out to Excel. We've got some nice filtering with the custom attributes, and then we've got the permission control to add and create the document links. So that's pretty much me for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Join me again next Friday when we go to the next BIM 360 surgery. So yeah, thank you very much. See you all soon and stay safe.